driver of that early energy that really seemed to sustain throughout the different rotations and lineups you were using?
I just think our guys, it felt like we had a really positive trip, with the Houston game and playing it, controlling the game most of the Memphis game. Disappointed that we weren't able to close that out, and came in motivated to keep building and keep growing. We felt like we grew over the last few games, even though we haven't been collecting the wins. And I think we were motivated to come out and get that W and execute at a very high level.
You mentioned before the game about LeBron and scoring, and with all the space in front of him, tonight seemed like another example. But what more can you say, I suppose, about that, and when he's playing at the 5 defensively and all the space that gives you on the other end?
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about the space all we want, but I mean, he lit up Memphis, with Dwight out there, screening for him too. This is just a LeBron James thing and playing at a superior level more than it is about the environment around him. He just, obviously he has a strong belief in our group. We all have a strong belief in our group. And while AD's out, he's intent on, doing everything he can to pile up some W's, and obviously playing at an extremely high level.
Frank, you guys have talked about being versatile and being able to play different ways and stuff. I mean, really in your whole time since you've been here, but it seems like maybe over this last month or so, you guys have really gravitated towards this LeBron at center, smaller lineup. It probably won't be how you guys play for the rest of the year, but how important is it to have this kind of like defining sort of strategy that you can use moving forward to hold on to?
It's huge. It really is. And, we'll see how our season evolves, I think the Indiana game is the game that stuck out for me. We may have done it prior to that but him playing alongside Melo in the centerless lineup, or Bron at the 5 lineup, however you want to put it, during that stretch really showed us that, this could be something that makes the game easier for him. He's not wrestling so much, and there's more space for him to be a roller. There's just a lot of positives to that, and can we get away with it against certain matchups on the other end? Obviously when AD comes back, he's going to play a lot of minutes at the 5, and then we can play, this smaller lineup as well. So it is a direction I think that we're taking our team, and so far we're having some success with it, but we got to keep getting it better.
Frank, you're someone who, in our interactions, always brings a lot of energy. Like, you're a guy, I would say, on the higher pick of the energy bar. But what do you think of LeBron? Like
Thank you.
I don't know. Sorry, it was a weird setup. But to the fact that like LeBron, we can talk about the skill, we can talk about the body size, we can talk about longevity. But it seems to me the energy he brings to the game can really affect how things are going to go.
No doubt. And I would say there's, 2 ways to separate that type of energy. One, being he exemplifies going out and play to exhaustion. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you're going to play probably the first 8 minutes of the game, come out around the 4-minute mark. But he plays so hard in the first quarter, third quarter, plays so hard that he gets to exhaustion. At 6 minutes, like, hey, I need a sub. Like, that's how we want our group to play. That's how everybody should play the game. Play the game to exhaustion. He's showing that. And then, his energy in film sessions and all of our work away from the game is like the mental energy that he brings our team, and the positivity. Like, there's so much noise around our team and negativity. And he doesn't let that, allow that to filter into our group. We remain focused on the work and building the habits we need to do, have a figure it out type of mindset. And, his mental energy in our film sessions and practices is another great way that he's been leading us.
Frank, just wondering on the thinking behind starting Stanley, is it that related to the conditioning of the guys coming out of protocol? And then during this stretch with the LeBron at center lineups or Melo at center, does Stanley add something that is unique to this roster when those groups play?
He definitely does. The thinking there, look, this is without Anthony, we're managing a little bit on a game-to-game basis. based on matchups. And, you play a game like Houston, Christian Wood starting at the center. That's a clear, let's put Ron at center. That's an easy one, right? Next game, Steven Adams, biggest, strongest guy in the league. Let's play Dwight at center. That's an easy one. Okay, these next few games in the middle, there's going to be a lot of in-between types of decisions that we'll have to make on a game-by-game basis. Tonight with what we saw on Stanley is, just a little bit more foot speed with the Dame Lillard double teams. There wasn't a Nurkic out there, that could really, impose his size on us. So, it'll be kind of on a game-to-game basis, but that's what we saw tonight. And Stanley was great in that regard.
Frank, you mentioned noise and negativity. I'll bring a little more to the room right now. Minnesota has gotten you guys pretty good twice already. What have they done in those games that you guys haven't been able to figure out? Obviously, Karl-Anthony Towns is a big part of that. And sort of how do you, without telling us what you're thinking, how do you view him as an in-between guy, I guess, sort of?
Yeah, well, we don't even know if he's in. I haven't really spent a lot of time, about, thinking about that game yet. But he's one of those guys that, obviously he has the size and he has the perimeter game, that makes those decisions difficult. I haven't put a lot of thought into how we'll go yet. But it's going to be on a game-to-game basis, where we're at with that. But Stanley, the thing about Stanley is I like the physicality that he has. You know what I mean? He's not just a quicker guy, but he's strong as hell too. So we'll see.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Okay.
Close 2021.
Happy New Year, everybody.